Uzziah, the king who loved the soil. Dear friends, in the previous stories, we saw the life and reign of Joash, who became king of Judah at the age of 7. Don't you remember, after Jehoiada's death, Joash turned to idols and neglected God's warning and was killed by his own servants? In today's story, we will look at the life of Joash's son Amaziah and grandson Uzziah or Uzziah. Amaziah too started out well like his father. When his kingship was established, he killed the officials who killed his father, but did not kill their children. Then he prepared to fight against Edom. Then, feeling that the men of Judah were not enough, he also hired 100,000 mighty men of valor from Israel for 100 talents of silver. But at that time a man of God came to him and said that God was not with Israel, and so he must not let Israel go with them. Amaziah obeyed that. Then he discharged the army he hired from Israel and sent them home. Then Amaziah led out the people and fought against the men of Seir and defeated them. But after this he made a mistake. He brought the gods of Seir, which could not deliver their own people from his hand, and set them up as his gods and worshipped them. And the anger of the Lord burnt against Amaziah. God spoke to him through a prophet, but he got angry at the prophet. Then, taking pride in having won over Edom, he challenged Joash the grandson of Jehu. But Joash did not take it seriously. But Amaziah was not ready to back down. In the battle that followed, Judah was defeated by Israel. This was of God in order that he might give them into the hands of their enemies, because they have sought the gods of Edom. From the time Amaziah turned away from the Lord, his servants conspired against him, and he fled to Lachish. But they sent after him to Lachish and put him to death there. And all the people of Judah took Uzziah, who was 16 years old, and made him king instead of his father Amaziah. And Zechariah was there to instruct him in the fear of God. So he did what was right in the eyes of God. He fought against the Philistines, the Arabians, and the Meunites, and he built cities there. His fame spread even to Egypt. He had large herds, both in Shephelah and in the plains. So he built towers in the wilderness, and cut out many cisterns. And he had farmers and wine dressers in the hills and in the fertile land, for he loved the soil. And he prepared for all the army shields, spears, helmets, coats of mail, bows, and stones for slinging. In Jerusalem he made engines invented by skillful men, to be on the towers and the corners, and to shoot great stones. And his fame spread far. As long as he sought the Lord, God made him prosper. But when he was strong, he grew proud, to his destruction. He was unfaithful to the Lord his God, and entered the temple of the Lord to burn incense on the altar of incense. While according to God's law no one except the priests, the sons of Aaron, were allowed to burn incense. But Uzziah used his own authority and tried to do that. 80 priests of the Lord, who were men of valor, went in after him to confront him and stop him from burning incense. But Uzziah was angry with the priests. And when he was angry, leprosy broke out on his forehead, in the presence of the priests in the house of the Lord. Seeing that, they rushed him out quickly, and he himself hurried to go out, because the Lord had struck him. And King Uzziah was a leper to the day of his death, and being a leper lived in a separate house. And Jotham his son was over the king's household, governing the people of the land. Then Uzziah, who reigned over Judah for 52 years, died. Because he was a leper, instead of burying him in the tomb of kings, they buried him in a burial field of kings. Then his son Jotham succeeded him as king. In the next story, we will look at the further kings of Judah and Israel and how they reigned. God bless you.